Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Global Domination. I am so excited to bring on rockstar super agent, Partners Group founder, Andy Mitri, whose title also says 2 times icon agent. We're going to get into today what exactly that means, Andy. But welcome back to the show. It's been a while since you've been on here, and a lot has just exploded since then.
Well, thank you for having me again, Stephanie.
You
Yeah,
know, I
Partners
want to
Group.
make sure I want to make sure today that everybody that watches this in the real estate industry that they really hone in onto how you became such a fast, I'm not going to say overnight, but it seemed overnight success as it relates to real estate because when you and I first met, you had a full-time, very good job. Real estate was kind of a hobby at the time, right? Because you had a focus. But shortly thereafter, it became your full-time opportunity. And gosh, you've blown away what you were making at that job that was so good at the time, right?
Absolutely. It's fantastic. And really, I didn't expect to grow so quickly. Um, but I really dove into the tools and resources that were available to me with EXP, and I utilized them, and I implemented what I learned from the other icon agents at EXP into my business, and I stayed consistent with it. And thank goodness today I'm able to be a co-founder with the Partners Group, which is rapidly growing. Sorry, in this market that's shifting, but our group's growing, which is quite it's great to great feeling. So
Well, I think a lot of it, and I want to dive into, the tools and the systems you implemented to grow and scale your business so that you could leave that cushy full-time job that you had. Let's talk about that. Because we've got agents right now that the market is shifting and it's not as easy as it was 2 or 3 years ago or even a year ago, right? The interest rates are up and so forth. But let's talk about what did you do first to grow that book of business?
uh, first thing I did is completely set up my KV Core, which is our CRM that's available to us through EXP. It's a really cool tool that if you learn and dive into and utilize, it'll create business opportunities that you didn't expect to get. So that's the first step I took, is I really learned how to use it and then leverage it to create business for myself.
Because what you were doing is utilizing that to do free lead generation. And I always say free lead generation because it doesn't cost you any money. You didn't have to reach in and buy leads that may or may not have been good leads. You were able to, let's talk about the specific thing inside of KV Core that you mastered first to build those leads.
That's the landing page. The landing
Okay.
page, yeah, and squeeze page, and what's the home worth page, and I just kept popping those up on my Facebook, which was reaching my friends' sphere of influence, family, and the more folks started clicking on those links, the more data it started capturing, and they would reach out for questions, right? And what is my home worth? And can we buy and sell at this time? And what does you know yeah. So then, obviously they're contacting me, and then I come up with solutions and help solve problems for them and get them taken care of. Uh,
Absolutely. And I love that because, back in the day in real estate, and there still is today. I don't get hit up by these folks anymore, but for a long time, and I'm sure other agents can relate to this, where these groups will say, hey, for $200 a month, we can build you this landing page that's going to help you lead generate. Or if you pay us this much money up front, we're going to send you this many leads a month, and then we're going to take a referral, if the transaction actually comes to fruition. It's like we as real estate agents get nickeled and dime off of all these different opportunities. And being one of those in the past that said, oh, okay, this sounds great, I'll try it. And then several thousands of dollars later, I'm like, okay, that didn't amount to jack nothing. I mean, it was just nothing. It was just me driving in a car, throwing $100 bills out the window. And so I think, for me too, when I joined EXP and really started to dive into what KV Core could be, I was blown away because when you take 10 or 11 of those items that everybody wants to sell us individually. And it's all rolled into one software, one technology that you can master. That's why it starts to work, because not only can you build landing pages for specific listings, but it also gives those agents the ability that have zero inventory. Maybe they don't have any listings right now, right? Listings are down. It's hard to have a big book of listings. But with KV Core and being affiliated with EXP, those agents even have the ability to build landing pages or squeeze pages for other EXP agents' listings and be able to grow a book of business off of it. And that's what I found completely impressive is that it didn't take you having existing business to be able to grow a business at EXP utilizing KV Core. Is that fair?
That's fair. I
That's
mean, if
right.
you actually establish your business and you want to spend money in marketing, there are great tools within KV Core that integrate really well,
Mhm.
and create even more lead opportunities, you could say. So, my favorite, and I use this not only as a lead source, but I also use this as one of my listing presentation items, is Property Boost. Property Boost is really cool. It's linked to your KV Core. It links to your listings. It's a fairly inexpensive way to market if you have a lower marketing spend, but it gives your listing more exposure, which is a benefit to your sellers. But at the same time, it also gives you an opportunity to meet more folks who are interested in your listing. So it's paid for marketing on Facebook and it's linked into the KV Core. That's an expensive way to market and benefit your sellers and at the same time create lead opportunities for yourself.
That's
So
great. That's great. So I guarantee you, especially over the course of the last, 3 years in the business, property prices were doing some crazy stuff. We were having multiple offers. Being able to have the ability to put out there a free service to anyone that says, what is my home worth?
mhm.
you know that in itself is another way to generate through KV Core. You did it successfully, landed you actual listing opportunities, still to this day does that. But what a conversation piece to be able to offer what is my home worth. I mean, they're filling out a little bit of information, they're getting an auto valuation, but then you get the ability as the agent to go in and truly do a CMA on that property.
Absolutely. And it's kind of cool because it does send them that evaluation, system generated evaluation, but then also that gives me the opportunity to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, that's what the system sent for a more detailed, more specific evaluation. Let's set up a time to meet. And it's the type of thing where it's not where, hey, we want to list your house tomorrow. Like, I mean, if you're planning on doing this now or in the future, it doesn't matter. We're just here to help, right? So, but you become that agent that they go to in the future, right? You become that agent that they piggyback to when it's time to list. So, it's you're building future business for yourself also.
That's absolutely true because, it may not turn, you're building a relationship because look, everybody here, I don't care if we're selling homes, selling commercial properties, if you're in a completely different industry, sales
Mhm.
is always a relationship building opportunity. That's what it is. It could be for that day, the next week, or even 2 or 3 years down the road. And what I think is a unique way to be able to stay in touch with those folks is, yeah, you were able to give them their home value and maybe they're not ready to sell right this second. But you can be dripping on them and you can be following up with them, whether it's every month, every 6 months, and say, look, I just wanted to shoot you over a new valuation on your property. Whether it's gone up or whether it's gone down, they're going to be appreciative that you are just keeping them informed of what's going on because we never know when that homeowner is going to get a job relocation offer or turn in to have to sell for whatever reason, that is going on in their life. And so that person that's staying in touch with them, feeding them the knowledge and building that relationship, I always call it's deposits into the relationship. That's how you win the business.
Absolutely. Relationships over transactions. That's one of my favorite, that's the way I operate the business. It's relationships versus transaction. If you're transactional, and you're just worried about the transaction and you're worried about the check at the end of the day, you're not doing yourself any good or your clients. You provide a good service and a good experience and protect your clients. Uh, you're going to continue to do transactions. Transactions will come and money will come, right? So
Absolutely. So because we've been having this, pivot and shifting in the market and interest rates have gone up, what, Andy, have you added to your business, if anything? Maybe you haven't had to, but what have you been adding into your everyday or every week operation to help you stay ahead of what's going on in the economy?
well, I mean, it's clear that it shifted, and it's clear that transactions are down across the board. I think in our MLS, 22% year over year transactions, but price per transaction's up. So I mean, for me, it's pretty simple, right? Folks have to buy and folks have to sell. So I'm not really doing anything different other than coming up with solutions to help folks, whatever the situation may be. Well, I really can't buy now because the interest rates are high. Well, how about we focus on getting a wonderful home that makes sense for you all, that has seller paid costs, so you can buy it on the rate for a couple of years until the rates change in the future, so you can refinance. We got to think outside the box, right?
That's right.
You can't just sit here and roll over and play dead. You have a great listing that's not selling. No problem. It's okay. Don't drop the price, right? Right.
Do what I do.
Affordability is an issue right now. Let's not drop the price. How about we offer seller paid concessions to buy down the rate for the buyers so that they can feel comfortable with the monthly payment and get the home sold for your sellers. Let's think outside the box. Let's solve problems and take care of the clients. That's pretty much what I preach and our group preaches, right? And
Yeah. Let's talk about that group. Let's talk about this group that you've built, because you've been with EXP 3 years now, almost 4.
July was 4 years. July
Over
2019 is
years.
when I met you. July
Time
20.
flies. Time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun and you're winning. That's all I can
You
say.
see all the gray? It's it's coming in.
But I mean, I look back at your, just the last 4 years, and it feels like it was yesterday that we first met. And,
Yeah.
you were really just trying to get your real estate business off the ground and do more than a deal or two. Right. And you've just exploded. And, let's dive into, what this 2 times icon agent means, because I love the fact that, you had a goal. Look, if people are sitting there and they're not making their goals, that is right there going to be why you have a demise. But when you sit down with people and you came to me and you had your goal already laid out, you had a goal of when you wanted to quit the corporate job, you had a goal of how much money you wanted to make, in real estate that first year. You surpassed every one of those goals, which is huge. And you got all the way to icon agent, which sometimes it takes people a few years in the business over and over again in order to even get there. But an icon agent, you all at EXP, is the top producers in the company. And at EXP in the world, we have 89,000 agents, and there's a little less than 3,000 agents in the entire globe that meet these numbers. And so Andy Mitri in Louisville, Kentucky, and I say that because it's not like he's out in California doing $10 million per house sales. You're not. You're in Louisville, Kentucky. What's your average price point of sale? What's your average sales price?
Just under 300,000.
Just under $300,000, and is in the top 3,000 agents in the entire globe for production. So that's huge, you all. Just turned 4 years in the business, right? So anything's possible, no matter how long you've been in the business and no matter what age you are, anything is possible. You just got to have the right systems and tools. And so congratulations to you on that, because what that means for Andy and for anyone at EXP that icon, we're on one of the best splits in the country anyway. We're 80-20 split. When that 20% equals 16 grand, we're capped. We don't pay EXP any more money. But when we hit icon, we get that entire $16,000 back in stock. So what that means is EXP pays Andy to be with EXP. EXP pays Stephanie to be with EXP. It's costing us no money, and we're earning large shares of a publicly traded multi-billion dollar company with absolutely no debt. It's like Christmas every day, right?
It is. It is. Christmas of the day, you take care of your clients and do a great job. You stay consistent with your work, and you get paid.
Yeah.
Besides the fact of all the other tools and resources that are available to us, besides, we talked about one thing, the KB Core, but
Yeah.
we can talk for days about, I mean, everything that EXP has to offer us. So,
Well, one of the things that you said at the beginning of the call today is that you were not only able to utilize the KV Core, but you were able to plug into other, because at the time you weren't an icon agent. At the time, let's just call it what it is. You were new to the business. You hadn't had a lot of experience as it related to real estate. But you were immediately able to sit in trainings of icon agents from around the globe where they are open and willing to share all the secrets in their playbooks so that all of us can go and implement it wherever our market is. And I absolutely love that. And so you spent time mastering the KV Corp, but you also spent a good amount of time educating yourself.
Absolutely. EXP University. I went into there's so much in the university, it'll make you sick. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
There's so much. And in the university, it's icon agents like myself and Stephanie and others giving back. It's our culture, right?
Yeah.
It's our culture to give back to the other agents in the brokerage. And the amount of information and techniques and training and collaboration that's in there is unbelievable. And you just kind of go through them all and figure out which one makes the most sense for you as an individual, right?
That's right.
I'm not really a big social media guy, and I don't have 1 million followers on TikTok. That's not me, right? I mean, that's not Andy Mitri, right? But I like to read, and I like to I'm very organized, and I like to what I call PDR, which is plan, do, and review. That's how I operate. And that's how I operated in the corporate world where I was successful. So I just implemented what I knew how to do for my previous job into real estate. And then I took the information provided by the icon agents in the EXP University, select ones that I liked the most, and I implemented that into the business, and I stayed consistent with it. And here we are today. So,
and I love that you made that point because there is so much information. It's like, how in the world could anybody ever learn? But that's done on purpose because all of us have very different styles. All of us are comfortable. I'm not on TikTok either. I may have an account, but it's not me running it, right? Like nothing's happening on my TikTok. And if it is, it's fake. Somebody's created a profile that's not mine because we're not there. But, that's the thing. We all have very different styles that make us great at how we do it, right? If somebody told me the only way you're going to gain business, Stephanie, is to be on TikTok twice a day, I'd be broke because that's not who I'm going to be. However, you can find within this company those styles that you are comfortable with that make you feel very confident at doing and be able to implement into the business and then keep changing it up as you feel more confident. And so I love the fact that we have that many opportunities. I saw a statistic this morning when I joined EXP in 2018. There was over 40 hours a week in EXP University trainings, educations, masterminds to plug into. And today there's over 120 hours every single week for agents to plug into. And so when an agent comes to me and they're like, I'm struggling, the first thing I say is, what have you done this week to learn anything new that you can implement into your business? And when the answer is nothing, then that's exactly where I put them back to. I need you to go to EXP University. And even if they're not with us, Andy, and you've done this too, that's what I love about our culture is that we will allow for other agents to come in and experience what we get to experience every single day. All they need is a guest pass to EXP World and be able to sit in on those classes and, and experience the magnitude themselves.
Absolutely. You can get an Explorer Pass and come hang out with us next week at EXPCon, right?
Oh,
Um,
which is off the charts. It's going to be thoroughly exciting.
or you
All
you
the,
can have a guest pass to our world. You
yeah,
can go to the university just like I do. You're more than welcome.
that's right.
Contact me anytime. I'll set you up with a link. It's really
Yeah,
cool. You can come and hang out with me and Stephanie next week at the EXP Con in Las Vegas, Nevada, as an explorer. There's an explorer pass, and we'll be glad to get you one. So,
that's right. That's right. So let's talk about your group that you've created here locally. I love what you've done. Talk about that.
yeah. I'm not going to take all the credit for it. There's three
I
founders.
know.
So, and it's called the Partners Group, and that's what EXP Realty is. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a partnership. It's a partnership where we all collaborate, support, and help each other grow our businesses. And that's where we came up with the name of Partners Group. Okay. Where we're together, agents helping agents succeed. Right. And that's in many different ways. Right. As simple as, hey, I've got a ball game tonight with my daughter. I can't show this house to my buyer. Can anyone pitch in and help? Just something as simple as that to, well, I've got a tough seller. I'm in a situation with CMA. I really don't know how to price this one properly. Can you come sit down with me in the office for an hour and help me with this listing presentation that I'm working on? Right. So it's a collaboration, a partnership of agents, and the market's shifting, but we're growing, and that's what I'm excited about. Right.
Yeah.
Because in the partnership, we started off just a couple of us and three of us, and now it's just expanding up to I believe almost 10 agents. And the value proposition with the partnership is unbelievable because we're all in it together, supporting each other.
That's right. I
Mhm.
love that because, with the market shifting, obviously, when agents say, well, business is slow, listings are down, sales are down, interest rates are high, maybe it's time for me just to hang up my hat and get out of this business, which is the worst thing anybody can do because in shifting markets like this is really where you find those opportunities. I mean, I've been in the business since 1999. So I've been through a wave of different environments and different economic times. And, to survive through 2008, 9, 10, 11, and 12, I mean, was huge. A lot of agents did fall out of the business because they didn't have those opportunities to plug into. But the opportunities are everywhere. I mean, the amount of data, the amount of resources that EXP is providing to us shows us very quickly how to find those opportunities and make sure that we stay in this business, not just getting by, but we all scale and we all elevate our business and we grow. And you, with the partners group, have just added another layer of service in a more localized way for those agents that want that personal attention and share with each other and just have each other's backs. That's a tremendous opportunity. And you all have an office space as well. That's a branch office, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
And we leverage each other. Right. So
That's good.
leverage is a key word, and we leverage each other to help each other succeed. Okay. So, um, but yeah, I mean, speaking of the technology and what's going on, right? So everyone's talking about AI. So I'm looking forward to next week because there's going to be a lot of sessions about AI, right? So we're going to continue to change. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to adapt. And the big thing right now is AI, right? So next week at EXPCon, there's a lot of sessions about AI. And I'm going to those sessions and I'm going to learn and I'm going to implement it into our business, right? That's what we do. So
No, and that is where I sat through some of the AI sessions, and I actually paid for myself and Jamie and
mhm,
Diana, to also have some classes as it relates to AI. And throughout all of these courses that we have been taking each and every week, it's amazing what we're able to do now. Where agents felt like they needed a lot of assistance or virtual assistance or just extra hands, or maybe they needed a video editor, or maybe they needed somebody to work on their website. It is profounding what you can do with AI now. I mean, everything. It's a way that really, I mean, an agent doesn't need a ton of money at all to have assistance with AI. Our video editing, our shorts that we do that go on social media, I just listed a castle in Edinburgh, Scotland this week. So much was generated by AI because it was just amazing. When you look at the write up on, how we're describing, this castle in Scotland.
Mhm.
And it's just a whole different level. But I do believe, and I'm glad you're going to those AI classes. I will be in there too, because there's so much to AI that it's one of those things that I'm going to constantly sit in and learn, because it's growing and scaling as much as we have to.
Uh-huh.
And it's amazing how they say an agent who doesn't incorporate AI into their business is going to be an obsolete agent. That's what they say. And so it's something every real estate agent needs to be looking at now, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's over 40 different classes on artificial intelligence just at our EXP conference next week, which is huge.
Wow. I didn't
So
realize there were that many. That's awesome.
yeah, lots to choose from. So that's going to be awesome. All right, Andy, we're coming up on time. I want you to just share some of the amazing things that, between now and the next 12 months that you see that's going to be happening with the market, why agents should reach out to you and have a conversation about how they scale and grow their business. Because I know you give away a lot of great information. You're all about building other agents. So put it
Yeah.
all out there.
Yeah. The secret sauce, right? I
The
mean,
secret sauce.
the secret sauce, we don't keep it to ourselves, right? We are in a partnership together. So, how do I, get this listing? How do I win this offer? How do I, whatever it may be, the secret sauce is going to come out, right? Because what
Mm-hmm.
goes around in the partnership, we all take care of each other. Okay. But in my prediction for the market and what's going to happen coming future, I guess is what you're asking me to speak on. I don't know. What I do know is, in order to survive, you might have to work twice as hard, but you also might need to learn how to be consistent with the tools and resources that are provided to you. Because to me, it doesn't matter what's going on with the market. Every day, folks have to buy and sell,
That's
right?
right.
And we need to be available to provide solutions and solve problems for folks. And as long as we're doing that, we're going to stay busy. So
That's right. That's right. Having access to the right technology, the right tools, the
mhm,
right resources, and I'm going to add something to that. Being around the right
mhm,
like-minded group of people that are all in it for everyone to build and grow. That's another thing that people need to look at, right?
absolutely.
Because I've been in those offices where nobody wanted to help one another. They didn't want to, once somebody found the secret sauce, they certainly didn't want to share it. They didn't want to breed competition within their own zip code, right? It's a totally different culture than that at EXP. It's the
100%.
opposite.
100%. What would
Awesome.
I do in this situation is going to come out of my mouth. I'm not going to
That's
keep
right.
nothing from you. We're all in this together. It is a partnership.
That's right. Well, Andy, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you in Vegas next week. We're going to have fun. We're going to get educated, and we're going to come back to Louisville ready to keep
Rock
scaling
and
and
roll. Keep
keep
scaling.
rocking and rolling.
Implement what we learn. Stay consistent with it, and continue to grow our businesses. So
That's right. All right. If anyone has questions, reach out to Andy, reach out to myself. We'd love to talk with you about how we can help you grow and scale your business in real estate. Thanks, Andy. Have a good day.
you too, Stephanie. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.